Hello and welcome back to episode 2 of Macaron Monday! I am super excited to be back, and this is kind of weird because you're seeing this a week from the last video I filmed, and for me it's only been like a few minutes, so yeah, I guess that's just the way it's gonna be. And if you haven't noticed, I kind of changed up the camera angle a bit. It's kind of going down on me now. Just kind of to spice things up, I guess, for no particular reason. Today we will be making something slightly different from last week. Last week we did the chocolate macaron, which is super classic, super, like, easy and simple. This week we're going with something a little more, I guess, exotic. We are making the matcha green tea macarons. These are super yummy. They are kind of like Asian, I guess. Yeah, they're super yummy. That's about all I have to say about there. They are delicious. You probably can't tell from there, but maybe if you look at the thumbnail image, or if you follow me on Instagram or Facebook or whatever, the feet on these macaron kind of protrude out a little bit, like kind of outward, as opposed to like the flat kind of feet that I usually get. I think that has something to do with probably the fact that the matcha green tea absorbs a lot of moisture, and then it affects some kind of a chemical thing in there. I haven't really looked into it, but I'm sure it has something to do with that, so, yeah, I mean, it's neither a good thing nor a bad thing. It's kind of a neutral thing. It's just up to you to decide whether you like this kind of feet or that kind of feet. I personally prefer the flat feet. I'm not a big fan of these protruding ones, although they do make it look very cute, and a lot of professional bakeries decide to use this kind of feet. But oftentimes you'll see that a lot of bakeries also have mixed, because it's hard to control sometimes with the different ingredients you use in the different macarons. So, yeah, not telling you for any particular reason, just to put it out there so you know. I guess then, without further ado, let's get started. Woo! Still haven't finished my coffee. Anyway, like always, we are going to start with our dry ingredients, so mix together your almond meal, the powdered sugar, the matcha powder, and the pinch of salt. Make sure it's nice and well blended, the greens should be evenly spread out in the mixture, and then just set that aside. Again, as always, we will now separate our egg whites and the yolks. Make sure there are no yolks in the whites, or else it won't rise properly, and then put that into the bowl of a stand mixer along with the superfine sugar, and just have it on a whisk attachment on medium-high speed until you get stiff peaks. Once your egg whites are the right consistency, go ahead and sift in your your dry ingredient mixture and get that all in there. Make sure there are no big particles. If there are any left in your strainer, go ahead and either stick that into a blender for a few seconds and have it like thin out, or just discard it. We don't really need that here. We don't want lumpy macarons. And once all your powder is in there, go ahead and just fold it in until you get a nice molten texture. If you pull it out of the bowl, it should ribbon down nicely. Not nicely necessarily, but probably sort of like a globby, but still able to ribbon, and it should slowly flow back into the shape of the bowl. Then go ahead and just fill your a piping bag fitted with a nice big circular tip with your macaron batter mixture, and go ahead and pipe it into quarter-size rounds and space them apart because they will spread. And once they are all piped out, go ahead and tap that on a counter for a few times to let the air bubbles rise out of the macarons and to let them spread out to the nice flatness that you want them to be. And then the most important, of course, step of all is to let them sit on the counter for at least 30 minutes, more if your environment is hot and moist like it is here in California right now. But yeah, just let them sit. What we want is for the top of the macaron to shell. It should not be sticky to the touch. The top should not break in any way. It needs to be nice and hard, like one piece, or else it will break in the oven. So make sure that your macarons are completely shelled before you stick them into the oven. While you wait for your macarons to shell, this is probably a good time to preheat your oven. I like to use 303 degrees Fahrenheit. Go ahead and test on your oven to see what your ideal temperature is. but go ahead and start in the range from 300 to 305. I think that's a good range to start at. And once your macarons are nice and shelled out, go ahead and stick them into the oven, bake for 18 to 20 minutes, and pull them out when they are done, which what we're looking for here is when you lift the macaron off the pan, it shouldn't stick excessively to the baking sheet. It should leave some crumbs and stuff, but as your macarons continue to cook from the heat of the pan and from the heat within the macaron, all the crumbs should eventually stick nicely to your macaron itself, and your macaron cookies should remove cleanly. While you wait for your macarons to cool, this is probably a good time to begin making your filling. So today we will be making a buttercream frosting filling, flavored with matcha green tea powder, and this is super simple. In the video you'll see that my proportions are slightly off because I am making enough of the mixture to fill all of my macarons, including all of the other ones in the videos that you're going to see in the next couple weeks. So don't follow or get tricked by the proportions I use in my video, but the method is still the same nonetheless. Make sure your butter is at room temperature and go ahead, put that into a stand mixer and mix on medium speed with a paddle attachment. Once your butter is nice and fluffy, go ahead and sift in your powdered sugar. As you will see in the video, I did not sift for the sake of time, which creates kind of like little sugar lumps in there, which isn't all that bad. I mean, it's not elegant, it's not great, but it's not like disastrous if it happens. But do be sure to sift, because you will not be able to get those lumps out despite, like, no matter how much you mix that batter, you are not getting the sugar lumps out. So I advise you to sift, which I did not do. Then add in your vanilla, and if necessary to thin out your buttercream. If it's too thick, go ahead and add in your heavy cream. Finally, we're going to sift in 2 teaspoons of your matcha green tea powder. If you want it to be less bitter, you can always use less. If you want it to be more bitter, you can always use more. 2 teaspoons of your matcha green tea powder should be plenty enough and should provide a good taste. So go ahead, fold that or mix it into your buttercream, and then just go ahead, fill that into a piping bag fitted with a nice big round tip like the one we used before, and we're just gonna pipe little mounds in the center of macaron cookies and sandwich 2 cookies together, and there we have it, a nice delicious whole macaron cookie. It is super delicious. If you don't like tea though, maybe this isn't the best, because the matcha powder is especially bitter. It's more bitter than normal tea. So if you don't like bitterness, if you don't like tea, this is probably not the best recipe. Go and check out my last one or my basic plain macaron one. That one is always delicious to anyone because it is plain and simple. So, or you can wait until next week when I come out with my next video, which I will not tell you the flavor of yet, even though it is sitting right there and I can totally tell you, but I am not going to. So, I guess that's all for this week. Go ahead and try out these cookies. Like always, give this video a big thumbs up, subscribe if you liked it, and of course, show me your love, comment below, and yeah, follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Tumblr, Instagram, Instructables. My username for everything is JoshPanCooking. Go and check that out. And I feel like that's it for today. Yeah, I should start filming my other videos now. I guess I will see you all next week, next Monday, with another Macaron Monday video. Goodbye.